The first question we get to ask ourselves is, what is the storm shift? What is that going to be? We've had trees, oops, all trees, 2 games in a row, and now it's well, I guess it's being a little bit slow to load in. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Certainly, as we take a look at where the map is going, right? Machine is going to be, and the train as well, is going to have the rich loot, is going to have that tier 5 armor. We're on the bottom side of the map coming in. And yeah, that's where we're going.
We are. I wonder if a team is going to try to jump on the train. It used to be so much more difficult a couple patches ago, but now that you can actually maneuver kind of the launcher, you can just move it along with the train to make sure you land it. We see one team attempting it right there. You know, there's so many greens in this game. I'm not sure which one it is, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. And they're going to absolutely get it for free. That's going to be friendly fire. It's going to say, hey, free tier 5 for us, and that's how we're going to start things out. Hopefully they don't run into another team, though, before actually getting any other abilities.
And it looks like, by the way, we talked about storm shifts, what we're going to see. It looks like it's clear skies for this game. So no storm shift is going to be the state of things. As Boy looks for an angle, maybe tries to get on. Oh, got to be so careful of those lasers. That is not something you want to be playing around when there's another team right on top of you. So Bombus is going to force them out. The lasers, well, they're going to be fine for now, and this boss should get unlocked fairly soon, getting that higher tier loot available. They're actually, sorry, when we talk about higher tier loot, specifically in this case, getting that high tier armor, so very, very important. It's something that Bombus have been able to really consistently play with all 3 lobbies they've been playing in.
Yeah, no one wants to fight Bomba, apparently, not quite yet, not over armors at least. But they are going to have to force their way up eventually, because that storm shift is indeed going to force them up there. They have plenty of time, though. It's only day 1. Probably going to take 2. It's going to take a while before it really happens and comes into play. But
yeah.
Duo Campo is just hiding in a bush. Not quite sure what they scouted, but they're hanging out. Maybe it's hot outside, and they're trying to get away from the sun.
Yeah, well, you know, it's fine. You know, you go, and luckily, actually, so I live in Texas, right? And it is not nearly as hot as it otherwise was. So we're getting into fall. The sun's not as scary as Tom Kick up to his nonsense once again, as well as the rest of Team Velocities. They're going to push down bottom side. I think, yeah, they got someone down, pretty sure. And that gives them, ideally, control over this vault, which, you know, super important. That's double blue armor right there. But instead, let's get the not necessarily a boss, but let's get the high tier creep down. Let's go and get ourselves level 4, tier 2 in an ability, and just make it that much harder for other teams to engage in us. Because again, this is an important spot. Blue armor is not gold, but it's still very impactful in this early game.
Yeah. They actually got one of my favorite powers, personally. The one where your first pretty much hit of damage is reduced by 50%, which I think is huge. I forget exactly how long it lasts, but that makes you so tanky no matter who you're going into. And it's really just a great passive to have access to. But, okay, there is a fight potentially going to happen. They scouted them, and now I think they're just looking. They're like, you guys have blue and gold? Not a good fight for us. Just going to leave. And Tom Kick says, well, one of you is going down. Tries to get the second one, and does manage to do it as well. Not hitting level 5, which is so fortunate for the rest of this lobby, because you don't want them to have 2 blues, 1 gold, and level 5 this early into the game.
I gotta say, it's really unfortunate that Zero Shower, they're fighting into a team that is just as sweaty as it is. Oh man, BY did not get, I really thought he was gonna get the Zeph down, but as it stands, Hook doesn't land on the other side, and the ice wall is gonna force things out for now. So Bombus, again, they're playing around vision for the time being. Look at this Mithy, looking for the engage from the side, maybe trying to get a punch going down. Chovo has to get out of here. It is, Choip has to get out of here, totally dead. And Bombus, again, this is their pound of flesh. They can get more armor, they can get more items, they can get more XP, and just continue to grow into this game. As it looks like Team Velocity, they found some more, they got themselves some even more victims.
They did. And is that level 5 on the Bishop, or was that on the Oath? I'm sure we'll find out if a fight does break out. And only level 3 right now. This is a little unfortunate. No armors, no powers, level 3. And we're talking about a poverty run on the big stage. Keep on trucking, keep on running, but man, it's going to take a Cinderella story to get them back into this game.
You know, Cathode Ray team, just a little bit outdated technology there, and it's not going to work out. Look, here's the beautiful thing about SUPERVIVE as well. It is actually so possible to keep yourself alive, even if you have a disastrous fight against Bombus early on, which is, well, actually, never mind. We could. CRT though continues to get out.
Enemy Oracle online.
It reminds me of Jenny from the Block, you know? You start in the Bronx of New York, and then all of a sudden you're a famous actress and singer, okay? Things can change, it just takes a little bit of time. And Luna trying to do it right now, makes their way out to the right side, does stay safe, gonna try to revive their team, but man, you are so behind that if anyone finds you, you can't fight them, you just have to run, you have to run.
Yeah, balanced power. Again, luckily, the night's going to be over. It's going to be new day in about a minute. And then level 6 is going to get unlocked. People will be teams that don't have their ultimates, that haven't had the advantage of a corrupted guardian, right, to give them that level 5, haven't had the advantage of a couple really good fights to make that happen. Well, they're going to have access to it anyways. But for right now, Retri, Toomey, all they're only...
Okay.
Where is the rest of their team? Is this only 2 members rating?
Maybe. I see a third member coming. I'm just so impressed at just choosing to fight this. You started this by yourself, almost took down the Shrike, but not able to quite do it. And man, you guys forced this engage, and it did not really work out too well for you. Still fighting. Boy, are you going to live? Are you going to escape? I am doubtful, and you are indeed gone. But there's one member still alive that's going to have to revive them from somewhere.
Well, maybe if they can get away from bumpers. Okay. Because, oh boy, this is not a good position for them to find them. Roll the rocket jump, knocks them down, maybe dodges everything though. That was big commitments. Oath ult, Zeph ult, Shrike looks for the shot in the sky, dodges that one, dodges the second one too, but unfortunately, when there is that much damage in the sky, eventually you get deep enough in the abyss, you gotta toggle your glider, and they took advantage of that, knocked them down. Boy, will be the first team out of this lobby.
Just really odd way to go out. You know, you had 2 members at the bottom or 3 members at the bottom. You're at the top by yourself. They started a fight in a 2v4. Just really not sure what happened with the communication breakdown right there, but they indeed are going to be in last place because of it.
Yeah,
are they going to get it?
Oh.
Are they going to snipe it?
No, scary. Oh, okay, who had it? Yeah, okay. Team Vector's going to be able to get on top of that one. Now there's Death Zone here as well. They got around. No, they didn't get the res. Not able to get on top of Cabanero and knock that down. Meanwhile, Bishop bottom side, zoning everything else at that. And Junker seems like the assault's going to get out of here. So fine for now. You're going to kill this level 6 creep on the way out. But that Death Zone makes life very difficult. This is not a position you want to stay in.
Was it Friendly Fire that actually managed to grab it? Was that correct?
No, Team Vector got it.
Okay. Yeah, I saw when the ult was out coming in from Assault, and I'm from Ghost. I don't remember the character's name anymore at the moment. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I was just really surprised that they were able to kind of just tank that and bully them off after they did all the hard work to try to get that power.
Yeah, and now that means that Team Vector, you know, they have really been benefiting from the souls they've been able to contest. Last map, it was Fortress Soul, so of course they had a bunch of armor and they were happy. This time it's Vive Soul. So now it's like you have infinite healing. We talked about in game 1 about the importance of having double healers on your team because you can go and regenerate your resources. Well, in this case, they have infinite resources. It's fine, and take advantage of that immediately. Gold armor, having tons of Vive, and that means Cathode Ray team. They've been the punching bag of this game. We have seen more Cathode Ray or a CRT team down in Wisp than we have actually seen them. But look at that. We do have, of course, the Hudson laying lead downfield, and with Telco a little bit separate. No, it's going to be able to go and take the glider booster on the way out. Icarus isn't going to take him too close to the sun, but now they're pitched in from 3 sides. Friendly Fire. Who is that? Duo down below. Hunting Tuna down on the left side. They're between 3 teams in a hard place, and this doesn't feel all that great.
It's a bit concerning. One of your teammates is kind of coming maybe for a weird pincer, but you guys are just trapped between them. Got the team fighting from Turbo Velocity just phenomenal. They're completely grouped up at all times. Gonna take care of that brawl as well. And no elimination, but man, that was a really unfortunate fight, and they're hiding in the bush, praying for dear life. Please don't find me. But they saw an opening. Gonna take the kill. Gonna get it. Knocks 1.
Ooh.
And somehow, the 2v3 in their favor. There's a blue armor. Not going to try to force it. It looks like Aiden's going to be able to pick this up momentarily.
And importantly as well, as we take a look at Bombas, certainly, of course, Aiden does have, there is damage still on Bombas' team, but it was the Shiv that just keeps getting taken down. It was a significant amount of the damage per second that Bombas has available, so that's going to be awkward. Now, Jewel dashes in. This is awkward, right? Because you're trying to go to Kobayashi's to bring your team back up, but the circle doesn't really want you to be there.
It's not a happy place, okay? You guys can't fight, but they started fighting and they managed to get out. But Duo, such a great spot. I don't know if he got anyone with that. He did not, but lots of damage. Teammates are indeed coming in. Are you able to clean it up? No, just gonna casually leave. Sorry, exit stage left as you go down, but someone else is there. Don't get picked off as well. Going to ult just because of the storm might take you out, barely escaping.
Yeah, I really like that. You drop the ult to push everyone back and then channel the whirlwind so you can kind of get out of there. Probably only possibility. Crouch goes in. Oh my God, look at this CRT. It's the punching bags. They're getting taken down. The tubes, well, they've been shattered just a little bit, but now they got to fight in team velocity. And in the, okay, they might just die to the zone. This is real bad for them right now. There's not a good way to find their way. It looks like Hunting Tuna on the left side. They have something there, but hey, Bombas, they're on that side as well. There is not going to be any revive. Crouch is going to get taken down, and now it's only one in a death grenade. Well, okay, they're going to run into friendly fire as well. So Hunting Tuna doing their damnedest here to stay alive. And for the moment, Sebi's going to try to get his way out into Pumpers, though. That's not where you want to be either there, Logic.
Yeah, very unfortunate. And there's no most wanted yet. I believe it's not going to come out until there's 6 teams remaining, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I keep seeing, but it could very well be a day in that game as well.
Oh, man. It's more Abyss than it is land. This is, again, one of these awkward late games where there's not a lot of positions for you to find your way in. It's not horrible. The circle is still reasonably big, but it's awkward. And now look at this. Pumpers goes in, forces everyone off. And I think, yeah, there we go. Collect is going to get taken down, and that's going to be it for now. But hey, AXI, one player now, not even Wisps, not savable, not salvageable, down in the ground. And that's going to mean as we get in these late games, I don't know that there's a single revive beacon available. And if it is going to be sorely contested. So,
absolutely.
AXI, Aldi X Iceland. Well, actually, no, never mind. There is a second one. They're going to use one of the last revive beacons in the game.
When you touch it, your corner going to try to escape.
Storm tightening.
Okay, manages to do it. Great stuff right there. And Bomba going to bring their team back instead. Blocks off one side, blocks off two. No one's getting up there, going to be able to contest that. XI right there. Just kind of farming a little bit more. Maybe trying to level up that equipment a bit. And everyone from Bomba is alive again. And you said they're the favorites. They're looking fantastic right now. That is for sure. And AXI still flying, still soaring through the skies. Going to live for the moment. Looks like there's 3 members on their team still alive, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no one went down from that last fight. His Oath is... Again, this is the problem, though. You're fighting 4 on 3. Your armor's shredded here. This Oath doesn't do a lot of damage. Unless proven differently, there's not a lot of AP on this Oath. And there we go. Taken down. Fights in the sky. But again, the problem is you're now 4 on 2 in that setup. It looks like Treadnax is going to be able to go and get out for now. But you're fighting 4 on 2. You're missing a lot of damage. You're behind already. If you can't burn someone down, you got to play around, ideally, some sort of Abyss spike. That's not all that great. And yeah, they get out, but it is a dicey situation to be in as, again, we're seeing these more experienced teams. We're seeing Team Vector, Pumpers, Pumpers, playing around these high grounds, playing around these positions that force teams to attack into them, getting these Abyssal Guardians, right? Not getting some of those additional Abyssal powers later on that gives you so much power. So they're playing around it, they're getting the advantage. And now the question is, ooh, big fight happens on the north side here as Pumpers try to take the high ground. But this is what we talked about. Fighting into the high ground is so very hard, especially with friendly fire on the bottom side looking to third party. But for right now, I mean, look at the dash in. Bishop doing so much here. And the solo. Cabanero also going to go down into the death zone. There we go. Get burned down as well. So friendly fire, only 2 members remaining. Pumpers, they still got 4, but importantly, again, Team Vector, they have the high ground. Attack into them.
Not only do they have the high ground, they now have complete vision of where everyone goes, courtesy of that power, which is huge, especially when you have a player like Tom Kick who likes to snipe and someone else indeed goes down. It took a while, but AXI gonna fall at 5th place, and friendly fire looking fantastic at the moment. Going to have to force your way onto there though, and you don't want to jump, you don't want to fly. Bomba fully aware of the position they're in, but going to retreat and say, you know what, let's go somewhere else, as the storm is going to just continue to get smaller and smaller, and we want to take our proper position now rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to point out, by the way, it looks like friendly fire, I don't know if they had most wanted and they got a kill and reset, or whether they killed someone with most wanted. But as it stands, they were only 200s remaining. They got all 4 back up. They're all level 9. Junker that's awkward now, and the Celestial goes and says, oh, this is an opportunity. Another one goes down. I was praising Friendly Fire, like, they have levels. This is a good position for them to be in to maybe take this fight. But if you lose a player to the Abyss, just really off of what looks like a mistake, that's not where they want to be. And there we go, taken down as well. Friendly Fire out of this game, and Bombus, this is where they've been living. Top 3 once again. But this time, they're not in quite as awkward of a position as they have been in the last couple games.
Yeah. Definitely a fantastic position right now. And you got to imagine that when that scenario happened and you start to try to fly away, I mean, Celeste is so difficult to fly around. Those kind of particles or projectiles, if you will, almost have a little bit of a homing effect. And there's so many of them. Good attempt, going to fall. And this top 3, Pumpers, Turbo Velocity. There's another team on the right. There we go. Bomba Squad, you know, kind of what you would expect when you're talking about who the top 3 will be and who's going to rise to the occasion and take it over kind of our 3 titans, if you will, of the lobby.
Ooh, man. Turbo Vector, or Turbo Velocity, excuse me, has so many good powers, right? They have the Turbo Nuke, they have the Tactical Nuke, they have the level 5 version, right? Or the 5-star version. They have Abyssal Scale as well, so that a nice knockback when you dive in, right? That health shield that you get. So they have a lot of stuff, and I'm really surprised to see them not trying to third-party this, because Pumpers want to take Bombas out of this game. They're great rivals. But for right now, let's see. Bombas have an island. Turbo Velocity, they have an island. Everyone's got an island. Who's crossing the Abyss?
One island's a little bit better. One of them has 2 Guardian Angels, so if I do drop and I'm not a box, well, I'm still coming right back. So, scary, but, you know, Turbo Velocity, they're in such a good spot. They have an island and an entire land and continent behind them if they just choose to advance kind of northwest. And we were talking about this before, but Turbo Velocity always has such great positioning when it comes to the end game. We saw it in the last lobby that they won, and we're seeing it again right now. Bomba needs to leave because you don't want to leave when the storm is forcing you to do it.
Yeah, look at that. Adamark as well, just spamming the homing missile, see if he can get some cheap damage down. Also want to point out here, first of all, the circle is favoring Turbo Velocity as they move forward. But on top of that one, as we see, Teldo looks for a pot shot there. Look at the knockback, trying to find something. Finding maybe a cheap Abyss snipe, but it's not going to happen. Not only that, Turbo Velocity has access to the Forge. They have access to get their armor back. So even as Pumpers, right, they have the Fortress, they have the Armor Soul. They have that ability. Again, I love this from the Bishop. Just go forward, take advantage of your rocket jumps, get a knockback on the grenade, maybe you get a free snipe. Maybe that's going to break something out. Not really going to happen. But importantly here, again, Turbo Velocity, Pumpers, they can heal their armor. That's not something Bombas can do. So they're slowly getting shipped down. Whether that matters, I don't know. It probably will. But we're going to have to see how this goes, because, again, the circle is not really forcing, not really forcing anyone to move, it looks like, for the most part.
Yeah, I was going to mention, and it didn't happen. Turbo Velocity has a nuke. They really could have forced Pumpers into them if they wanted to. If they would have just dropped that nuke at that back spot, you know, got the proper scouting, saw where they were, dropped the nuke. And I think you're possibly looking at a potential final showdown had they did that. But now the storm has shifted. You know, there's been some space, some time, and now Pumpers were able to kind of escape and move off to the right.
Again, I like this Bishop plays. Like, you play with the hover wing. You say, I can fly over thing. That's fine. This is a little... Never mind. Okay. Aiden BY, though, loses all of his shields. But because of where things are, I think they ended up maybe buying some, I don't know, but that's actually not true. But they were more shields available from the kills they got early on. So Aiden BY loses all of his shields, gets a marginally worse one. But man, this homing missile spam every, 16, every 20 seconds. You got a great big missile that's just doing AoE splash damage, forcing this damage to happen. And TTV slowly, they're knocking down Bombas. So Bombas is going to try to find a different angle, maybe jump on top of Tom Kick. They're not going to find that, as they're going to look for the angle. Oh, I love this. They're finding their way into the Forge, trying to see if they can get that armor back. But Teldo, they're on top of things. Immediately makes the rotation, and Bombas, they know they can't fight into this. So they are by far the weakest position in this lobby. But ooh, Turbo Velocity, where are you going here, guys? What's happening?
That was so bold by Bomba to just go between both teams, and they did it safely and landed into what is pretty much the second best position you can have right now. Aiden kind of looking for a snipe, trying to kind of aim down sights, if you will, not seeing anything. Pumpers looking fantastic, and I said they had 2 Guardian Angels, mistaken. 1 Guardian Angel and 1 Guardian Archangel, which means if you're a box, you still can come back. They dropped the nuke, not gonna hit anyone, but no one can advance. You know that you're safe for the moment. And there's a most wanted behind Pumpers as well. If someone falls, pick up a most wanted while there's still 3 of your teammates alive. And all of a sudden, you know, you have a strong chance of being able to get a kill and bring that 4th player back.
And importantly, I was talking about how good the position was for Turbo Velocity a minute ago, right? When the circle was previously where it was, the circle is pinching them in the extreme. They don't really have a nice attack angle, so it looks like they're going to go and drop a nuke, I guess. Yeah, that's going to be their nuke, forcing Bombus out, and that gives them a position. Now, we do have the Bishop on the left side, just poking around, playing around with those rocket jumps. You're not going to spike her, right? She's not in the glider at all. She just bounces around the abyss, and she's just looking for whatever she can find, getting maybe a displacement grenade, maybe forcing someone off, getting that poke damage. That's always going to be really nice. But now, again, Turbo Velocity. Look at this Bishop. It's like, okay, hi guys. What you gonna do? But okay, that works.
They want to look at their old real estate. They're like, that's my husband. Okay, that's my last year's house. All right, how is it over there? You don't like it? Cool. But it's so tense right now.
Ooh. Look at where this next circle's going.
This is wild. Bomba in a good spot if they can survive the poke, because it's just such a small area right there. Almost no land. You can't grow any crops if you were trying to become a farmer over there.
Yeah, but in 30 seconds, they have the circle. The circle is on their land. If they can survive until this long, if they can survive the poke until this long, 2 teams are going to be fighting into them. And preemptively, now that they know they have a really good spot, now they're spending their utility. Now they're dropping those death zone grenades. Now they're saying, hey, come into us. You know, it's going to be really hard. And this is what is this? The 7th, 8th? The
storm is closing.
Like, we are deep into the game at this point. The death zones, they hurt so very much that as this happens, this is not a choice. You do not get to try to stay in the zone and maybe tank it out a little bit, play around the edge. You have to go in. So Turbo Velocity right now trying to get on top of Pumpers, forcing this. Do we have Bomba's third party? I don't know, but for right now, again, if you can get a hook, it's fine. And Pumpers are very pushed into a corner here. Splash damage is going to be very strong at this next set, so they're going to make the rotation right now. Spikes go down on top of everything. Looks like Bomba still has everyone alive. Adamart looking for the ult, but he's not going to find it. Well, it's okay. It's okay. Bomba 2 that remain. Pumpers have 3, and Turbo Velocity with that characteristic patience, doing so very much. Shredzy still with most wanted, as Mithy tries to get out of there. Still into the death zone, though, very, very low. And as we take a look at this setup, Mithy, again, most wanted, not going to do anything there. Looks like a hook. There we go. Okay, the Ari went down, DPS went down. Tom Kick, of course, has that most wanted. Spike's gonna go down. Tom Kick does not get the kill, though. So it's still 3-on-3. Look for the dash in. It's the engage right now. Tom Kick, though, is he gonna stay alive? No, he goes down, which means everyone's right back up here. The damage not where it needs to be. Adamark, last man standing. Looks like actually Teldo's still here as well. 3-on-2, and the circle vastly, and I mean vastly, favors Pumpers.
You can't heal this. Oh, 3v1 is gonna be a wrap. You gotta imagine Adamark gonna try to fight his way out, but we kind of know how this story ends. Fantastic job from Pumpers as they just walk in the final kill. You gotta imagine they do make it happen, but wow, at how well they played that ending.